Welcome to the second video in the series Framing the Image Combining Qualitative Content with Film Analysis. The previous episode explained why for the analysis of filmic material the combination of film analysis and qualitative content analysis proves relevant. In this video, I want to discuss how you can collect your material and make selections in a way that allows you to effectively apply these combined methods. Let us first look at data collection. One of the essential phases of doing research is collecting and storing your data. Several issues are at stake when working with television series: the availability of the data, the accessibility of the data, and the management of the data. For the success of your project, it's essential to make sure the material you want to use is available. For instance, if you want to research the subtitling of the popular Turkish historical series Magnificent Century, broadcasted in Indonesia, you must have access to the subtitled episodes, which might not be available on YouTube or Netflix. So, before you formulate your research proposal, you will have to check the availability of your material. Well, in this case, the episodes are at least partly available on YouTube. Here you see a screenshot from the 6th episode of the series called Abad Kejayaan, spoken in Turkish with Bahasa Indonesian subtitles. The second point of consideration is the accessibility of the data. If, for instance, you want to research a Turkish series available on YouTube but without subtitles, you must have sufficient knowledge of the Turkish language. So before you start, you will have to evaluate your skills. Finally, when you have found the Indonesian subtitled episodes of Magnificent Century and are able to read Indonesian, you have to think about the sustainability of your material. For how long will the data be available? If your material is only available on YouTube or a streaming platform, it might very well be that it will be gone the other day. In this case, you might consider creating an archive. Open broadcasting software can be a solution to save your material. The software makes print screen copies of what you are watching. Ideally, this kind of archive should be open access to other researchers and stored at university servers. In addition, you will have to design an archival system. For more information, you might consult the Organization for Fair Data Management's website. FAIR is an abbreviation of findability, accessibility, interoperability, and reuse of digital assets. You will find a link to their website in the accompanying literature list. Data management becomes essential when you deal with large amounts of material. Research on television series is often by its nature concerned with large amounts of data. For instance, the 4 seasons of Magnificent Century contain 139 episodes of approximately 2.5 hours, which makes around 180 hours of material. That is already an enormous amount of material. But what if you want to research more series? This was exactly my intention in an ongoing project on the depiction of religion in Turkish television drama. I started the project in 2014 with an analysis of the depiction of religion in the television series of the Turkish television channel Samanyolu, a media concern related to the Gülen movement. Later, I broadened it to other channels. For an individual researcher, it will be impossible to manage this amount of data. Unless you conduct research with a group, you must make a well-motivated selection. you will have to set criteria for your choice and ascertain that you still cover the content of your entire corpus. To establish a workable corpus, I made a selection of series of which the secondary literature indicates religion is an important issue. For instance, the TRT series Payitaht Abdülhamid, The Last Emperor, or the Netflix series Kulüp, The Club. Of those series, I watched all episodes. In addition, I want to get an impression of how religion is depicted in series that are not focusing on conveying a religious message. To make the number of available sources digestible for myself as a researcher, I have developed a method to scan the series for relevant content. I do this through a two-step process. In step 1, I watch the first 10 and last 5 episodes as well as every 10th episode to get an idea of the main topics. In step 2, I use my storyline knowledge to watch religious-specific content in the remaining episodes. I watched, for instance, episodes in which I expect celebrations to be depicted, such as the Ramadan or the Feast of Sacrifice or New Year's Eve, or ceremonies such as marriages and funerals. In this way, I reduce the material, but I still can grasp how religion is depicted in the series. Now that we have discussed the collection and the selection of our material, we can continue with the next step, the analysis. As discussed in video 1, I argue that the combination of film analysis and qualitative content analysis helps you understand how films and television series construct meaning on your research topic. The next video will focus on film analysis. The 4th video will focus on qualitative content analysis, and the last video will explain how I combine both methods.